Punjab Congress implosion.
And that's our top focus right here on India Today. A very good afternoon. You're watching India Today with me, Nabila Jamal, right after the top headlines. Congress says Sonia to make final truce announcement after she met Navjot Sidhu. Upset Amarinder had complained about Sidhu asking his loyal MLAs and ministers to resign, say sources. Under fire, Karnataka Chief Minister Yediyurappa to meet Prime Minister Modi today amid reports of him being replaced. He has also sought appointment with Amit Shah on this. Supreme Court asks UP government to reconsider allowing symbolic Kanwar Yatra, seeks response by Monday. Centre opposes the UP government's decision to allow Yatra in Supreme Court. Prime Minister Modi raises concerns over rising COVID cases with chief ministers of 6 states which are contributing 80% of active caseload in the country. Lays emphasis on test, track, treat and Tika Mantra. Fugitive diamantaire Mehul Choksi plays victim, releases audio clip and accuses Indian agencies of kidnapping him, claims threat to life if he returns to India. And Pulitzer Prize winning Indian photojournalist Danish Siddiqui killed during clashes in Kandahar, Afghanistan. He was documenting Taliban surge. Now, all's not well in Punjab Congress. Disgruntled Congress leader Navjot Singh Sidhu was summoned to the national capital by the party high command. Sidhu met with Congress President Sonia Gandhi at her residence at 10 Janpat. The meeting lasted for about an hour. Party's Punjab in charge Harish Rawat was also present at that meeting. In fact, right after the meeting was over, Harish Rawat said that no decision was taken in the meeting and final decision on the truce formula will be taken by the party president. Meanwhile, India Today has exclusive details as to why Sidhu summoned to Delhi, why he was called in. Amarinder Singh is reportedly quite upset over Sidhu's meeting with 5 ministers and 10 MLAs yesterday, and according to sources, Sidhu reportedly provoked ministers and MLAs to offer a mass resignation from the party. After which, Captain had a lengthy conversation to Punjab Congress in charge Harish Rawat, and then party high command summoned Sidhu to Delhi. Captain is reportedly quite upset with Sidhu's elevation. He cited his seniority as a ground for displeasure.
बिल्कुल कौन कहता है आप कृपा करके मेरे बयान को बहुत केयरफुली पढ़िए जो मैंने कहा है और शब्दों को समझिए जब तक कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट बात को क्लियर नहीं करती है तब तक मुझे भी जानकारी इस बात की नहीं हो सकती है कि इनफैक्ट उनका लास्ट डिसीजन क्या होगा।
नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू से पूछ लें पहले कहाँ जाना है उनको। अभी वो आम पार्टी के बारे में बड़ाई कर रहे थे, आम पार्टी वाले उनकी कर रहे थे। ये जो लोग ब्लैकमेलिंग करते हैं मुझे लगता है राजनीति में ये सेवा करने के लिए नहीं आए। जो मुद्दे हैं जिससे कांग्रेस डूबेगी उन मुद्दे पर क्या करेंगे सिद्धू? इनको कोई बचाने वाला नहीं है, कुछ भी कर लें कैसे भी कर लें, खाली इनका बंटवारे से मतलब है।
Now, Pooja Shali explains to us the relevance of Navjot Singh Sidhu's meeting with Sonia Gandhi earlier. Let's take a quick look.
So what could be the possible reasons that Navjot Singh Sidhu was summoned today to Delhi by the party's high command? There are some scenarios emerging. Sidhu held meetings with 5 loyal ministers and 10 MLAs yesterday, as sources are telling us, but it was not just about the meeting. Sidhu reportedly provoked these ministers and MLAs to offer mass resignations from the Congress party in Punjab, and then allegedly asked these ministers and MLA to dump Captain Amarinder Singh, thereby proving his clout within the party. Captain Amarinder has complained to the Congress Punjab in charge Harish Rawat. There was a long conversation that took place, after which he has likely been summoned to Delhi. The Congress High Command then called Sidhu after this long conversation took place. So the question is, was this a moment of elevation?
Now, Sidhu versus Captain feud has been festering since a few years now, since 2017, the same year that the Congress came to power. Sidhu was made a cabinet minister then. It is said that Sidhu then used his closeness with the Gandhi siblings to bargain for some more power within the Punjab unit. Things came to a flashpoint when Sidhu went to Pakistan, embarrassed his chief minister by hugging the then Pak army chief, leading to a full-blown public war of words. Let's take a quick look as to what went by.
Captain Amarinder Singh and Navjot Singh Sidhu have been at daggers drawn since 2017. It is said that Captain Amarinder Singh was not happy with the way the BJP leader Navjot Singh Sidhu was inducted in the Congress party just before the assembly elections in 2017. Despite the opposition from senior Congress legislators, Captain Amarinder Singh, under pressure from the Congress High Command, gave a cabinet berth to Sidhu. But cracks emerged when Sidhu tried to bargain for Deputy Chief Minister's post along with home portfolio by using his closeness to the Gandhi siblings. Captain refused to budge. The rift became public after Sidhu went to Pakistan against the wishes of his captain in 2018. Sidhu's hug for then Pakistani Army Chief General Bajwa had Amarinder Singh fuming.
How can it be that every day somebody is being shot, and whether the man who pulled the trigger is to blame or the man who gives the order, which is the chief, and the chief is Mr. General Bajwa, and to say that I don't know General Bajwa, but yahan likha hota hai unke tunic ke upar, that's wrong, and I think that was wrong for him to have shown the affection he did for the Pakistani Army chief.
3 months later, Captain Amarinder Singh opposed Sidhu's second visit to Pakistan.
I told him, I said, I have taken this stand, and this is what is in the larger interest of my state, and I think you should also reconsider your position. He said, I've already accepted the invitation. I said, well, then you can always tell them that now my chief minister has taken this stand, so I wish to, I will not be coming. But he has decided to go.
It was then that Sidhu declared that Amarinder Singh was not his captain.
अरे मेरे कैप्टन राहुल गांधी हैं, उन्होंने तो भेजा है हर जगह. क्या बात कर रहे हो यार? कौन से कैप्टन की बात कर रहे हो यार? हाँ, ओ कैप्टन अमरिंदर सिंह जी की, वो तो आर्मी के कैप्टन है भाई. मेरा कैप्टन राहुल गांधी साहब है.
At the backdrop of the sacrilege case, Sidhu opened a new front against the captain. It was the first time that the cricketer turned politician publicly accused the Punjab Chief Minister of being hand in glove with the Akalis. It is said that Sidhu was divested of his portfolio after he challenged captain's authority.
जिथे 25 पैसे पैने सी सिद्धू ने 25 पैसे पाए, जिथे 30 पैसे पाने सी उथे 30 पाए. वर्ल्ड बैंक तो लैके एक चीज़ नाल लिया के खड़ी की थी. लेकिन मैं तो कदे किसी ते उंगल चुकी नहीं, ना मैं कदे शिकायत की थी, ना ही मेरी फितरत है. चलो जे कोई उन्होंने ये लगता है यह जी गल है तो वो उन्होंने दी मर्जी है, महाबदौलत.
There has to be some discipline in the organization, and in this discipline, I have decided after seeing the performance of our ministers, I've shifted them around. Where I thought somebody is good in a particular job, I've given him that job. And here I thought power is an important thing for Punjab, one of our most important things. And I gave it to Sidhu, but he didn't want it. So I said, no, once a decision has been taken, you can't say I will take this and I will not take that. I mean, it's like some general saying, I'm not going to get posted to Ladakh, send me to Manipur.
Captain Amarinder Singh has not said a word about Navjot Singh Sidhu's recent outbursts against him. But he is believed to have told the Congress High Command that Sidhu had crossed all limits this time. The face-off has now reached a point of no return. With Manjeet Sehgal and Kamaljit Sandhu, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right. Congress MP Manish Tiwari, meanwhile, has indirectly raised issues of stepmotherly treatment to Hindus in his tweet. In his tweet, Manish Tiwari pointed out that there are 57.57 Sikhs in Punjab, 38.4% upper caste Hindus and 31.9 Dalits, including Sikhs and Hindus, saying that balancing social interest groups is key. Another Congress leader, Pawan Diwan, also pointed out Jat dominance in the state, saying that from the post of Chief Minister to other important designations in the state, all key positions are held by Jat Sikhs. In fact, Diwan, after tagging top Congress leadership on Twitter, questioned about the position of Hindus. Meanwhile, Captain's camp had endorsed the names of two Hindu leaders, including Manish Tiwari and Vijay Inder Singla, for the post of PCC chief. Yes, a big breaking coming in. ED has now attached immovable assets worth 4.2 crores belonging to Anil Deshmukh, the former Home Minister of Maharashtra, as well as his family members under the PMLA in a corruption case. Anil Deshmukh is a former Home Minister of Maharashtra. Remember, he's been embroiled in money laundering or allegations of corruption made by former top cop Parambir Singh. And now we hear that ED has attached immovable assets worth 4.2 crores belonging to Anil Deshmukh and family under PMLA. Let me quickly cut across to our reporter joining us. More details. Do take us through what exactly are the allegations against Anil Deshmukh, if you can quickly explain to us to which why the ED has now seized his property.
Nabila, Sachin Vaze, the dismissed Mumbai police cop, had alleged that in his statement to ED had clearly stated that Anil Deshmukh had asked him to extort money from bar owners and restaurant owners in Mumbai. Remember, Parambir Singh in his letter to CM Uddhav Thackeray on March 28th had clearly stated that Anil Deshmukh had given a target of 100 crore rupees a month to Sachin Vaze to be collected majorly from bars and restaurants in Mumbai. And following this, a petition was filed in the Bombay High Court. On the Bombay High Court orders, preliminary inquiry was done by CBI and then an FIR was registered, following which ED also registered a case. ED last month arrested Anil Deshmukh's PS and PA in the case. The PA of Anil Deshmukh, Mr. Kundan Shinde, had accepted cash collected from bar owners from Sachin Vaze, and then this money, according to our sources from ED, was channeled or laundered through various shell companies into an educational trust run by Anil Deshmukh and his family members. And that is how money laundering was established. Remember, 4.7 crores were collected from bar owners, out of which 4.2 crores had been detected to be transferred to this particular education trust. And now ED has attached property worth 4.2 crores. So this is a major move by the Enforcement Directorate, while Anil Deshmukh has moved the Supreme Court seeking protection from any coercive action against him and his family members. Abhila?
Divyesh, thank you very much for joining us with those details. Divyesh has been tracking all developments here with regards to corruption allegations against former Home Minister Anil Deshmukh and his family members. Now their properties have been attached. It doesn't seem like the confusion over whether Yediyurappa, the Chief Minister of Karnataka, is going to continue as a CM will end anytime soon. It appears that now Yediyurappa, was quite disturbed, is likely to be meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi this evening. Amid reports of Karnataka Chief Minister being replaced, Yediyurappa has left for Delhi along with both his sons, Vijayendra and Raghavendra. According to reports, the tentative time of the meeting is 7 p.m. this evening, but the Prime Minister is yet to fix the timing. Chief Minister BSY Yediyurappa has also sought an appointment from Home Minister Amit Shah, but hasn't really heard back on the appointment yet. Last month, BJP MLAs from Karnataka met with the top leadership in Delhi, demanded a change of Chief Minister. However, after the rebellion, BJP Karnataka in charge, Arun Singh, had even arrived in Karnataka, spoke with the leaders and unanimously decided that there was no question of a leadership change. BSY Yediyurappa will remain the Chief Minister for the next 2 years and in fact complete this term. But nonetheless, it appears Yediyurappa now in a worry.
Sir, we are going to Delhi to meet our Prime Minister and all other important ministers. ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಪ್ರಧಾನಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಉಳಿದಂಥ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಏನೇನು ಕೆಲಸಗಳಾಗಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಮನವರಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅನುಮತಿಯನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
Sir, is there any leadership issue? What official allegation is there to change of leadership in the state, sir? Sir?
Let me cut across to Pooja Shali. She takes us through what's the exact possible scenarios if at all Yediyurappa stays or is removed. Let's take a listen.
So definitely there are deliberations on possible replacement of BS Yediyurappa. What could be these different scenarios? I have some compiled for you. We're calling it Mission Exit for now. Why? Because Yediyurappa removed as the Chief Minister, if that is a scenario, BJP might lose support of the Lingayat vote bank, and that's very crucial for the state of Karnataka. BJP continues with Yediyurappa as the Chief Minister, which as of now they are saying, but infighting likely to continue, especially with the dissenter MLAs, and if they can manage that, perhaps then Yediyurappa stays as Chief Minister. Scenario 3. BJP continues with Yediyurappa as Chief Minister, but will affect morale of the cadre as well. So they will have to keep the flock together, especially the ground workers. Now the cabinet rejig with Yediyurappa as the Chief Minister, perhaps give some of the dissenter MLA senior positions. Rebellion may die down temporarily, at least till the time they have a successor phase coming in. And with that, the implication could be new aspirants may emerge later. For now, remember, Karnataka does not have a second phase after BS Yediyurappa, especially if looking at the non-Lingayat faces as well. So it will not be easy, remember, for the Bharatiya Janata Party to get rid of BS Yediyurappa, if at all there is that option.
All right, and not just in 2013, Yediyurappa still holds big sway over the state's Lingayat vote. Few know that the four-time Karnataka Chief Minister started off as the Secretary of the Sangh, and while he may now be struggling for political survival, he's already projected his son, that's what it appears, as the inheritor of his political legacy here in this report.
Bukanakere Siddhalingappa Yediyurappa has been backbone of BJP in Karnataka for last 4 decades. He started off with being Karyavaha, or Secretary of the Sangh's Shikaripur unit, in 1970. In 1972, he was elected to the Shikaripura town municipality and was also appointed as the president of the Taluk unit of the Jana Sangh. Yediyurappa was first elected as MLA in 1983 and has since represented the Shikaripura constituency 6 times. He also was appointed as state BJP president in 1988. As MLA from BJP, he became chief minister 4 times till date. In 2013, he formed KJP and made sure BJP did not come to power by cutting large chunk of the party's votes. He later returned to BJP and took over as state party president. Now he fights the toughest battle of his political life. As rebellion grows against the chief minister, BSY is projecting his youngest son, BY Vijayendra, as his heir apparent. Yediyurappa and his late wife Maitra Devi have 5 children: Padmavati, Aruna Devi, Uma Devi, BY Raghavendra, who is the BJP MP, and BY Vijayendra, who is currently BJP Karnataka Vice President. 45-year-old Vijayendra tried for Varuna constituency ticket but was denied by the BJP High Command in 2018 elections. But in recent by-elections in Karnataka, he was made in charge of KR Pete, Sira and Maski constituency. BJP won 2 out of these 3 seats. The rebel MLAs have alleged Vijayendra's interference in governance, and that's one of the biggest reasons for the rebellion against Yediyurappa.
Now, it's faith versus COVID over the annual Kanwar Yatra procession. Supreme Court has now asked the Uttar Pradesh government to reconsider its decision of allowing the Kanwar Yatra to take place. In fact, the court has said that matters concerning everyone. This is not just about a certain group of people who are religious. This is every citizen's right. And in fact, the right to life itself is paramount. All other sentiments, be it being religious, is subservient to this basic fundamental right. Supreme Court has asked the UP government now to respond on Monday to the suggestions of cancelling Kanwar Yatra. The centre has now told that UP government that it must not permit Kanwar Yatra to take place and must make Ganga Jal available through tankers in the state itself for all the Kanwariyas. However, Yogi government has now, it appears, looks quite adamant on its decision, saying that the procession will be done as per COVID norms. The Supreme Court had termed UP government's decision as disturbing. Not only the Supreme Court, the Indian Medical Association too has made it quite clear that at no condition any such mass religious gathering or any gathering of any kind must be allowed.
अब सुप्रीम कोर्ट के माध्यम से अगर किसी तरह का गाइडलाइन या कोई आदेश या मार्गदर्शन अगर वो देंगे तो उस पर तो सभी लोग सुनेंगे भी, मगर हमारे यहाँ अभी तक तो जो तैयारी हुई थी कोविड यात्रा के लिए और उसके साथ बहुत सख्ती से कोविड के प्रोटोकॉल हमारे स्वास्थ्य विभाग के माध्यम से हमने वहाँ दिया भी है गृह विभाग को, और वो कैसे वो किया जाएगा इस पर चर्चा पिछले 3-4 दिन से हो रही है।